welcome back to CozyAnimeCookie, aka your girl, Leisha. And we are diving right here back into this game. We are diving into chapter 2. Now, last time we left off, we did not too much care for the crown. We met a really nice older woman who is a widow. So now let's go ahead and start establishing who we are. And let's see how we can get some more money because, like, girl, we need to get some new, like, clothes. Anywho, you awaken the next morning in a bed that still feels unfamiliar. In the process of waking up, you start to recall the last night's humiliations and wish that they were merely the product of your fitful dreams. Unable to go back to sleep, you spend some time tossing and turning in bed before finally sitting up. Nothing is going to make the last night go away. The only option is deciding what to do next. You feel exhausted, not physically, but in your very soul, like your fate in Paris has already been decided, and that to remain here would be pointless. I would just be the humiliations of last night, over and over again. Girl, no. However, stronger than that exhaustion is the simmering rage you feel at the outrageousness of your circumstances, at the injustice of your treatment, and at the thought of going back to your tiny village after finally making it here to Paris. No, you must not go back. You cannot go back. Not while a single candle of your ambition still burns. Hi, Camille. Camille pops into your room, already dressed and ready for the day. Bonjour, madame, she beams. Oh, she's so sweet. It looks like you had quite an active night. Is there anything I can get you? Please find a spare pillow to smother me. I'm not sure. Do you know how to make a murder look like an accident? Some kind of refreshment, please. I'm sorry, madam. The other cushions are waiting to be washed. We can't have you end your life with a dirty pillow. It would be improper for a woman of your station. Ha! While you wait, I must insist on getting you something to drink. Going without wouldn't be healthy. What can I get you, madam? Tea, please. I'll need to keep my wits about me if I'm to regain people's trust. Camille returns so quickly with the tea that you're certain she made it ahead of time. It's piping hot, fragrant, and not too bitter. You drink the brew in silence, the gears of your mind slowly getting up to speed. The tiredness fades, your anger does not. Oh, thanks. You take a few moments to finish your drink in silence and collect your thoughts. Something that keeps coming to mind is all the gossip you heard during your time at the party. Most of it was idle prattle, but some of it felt scandalous and valuable. Without any inheritance or a job, you'll need a way to make some money. Please, maybe someone would be willing to buy this gossip. Is that a thing people do, Camille? Camille taps her chin thoughtfully. Well, when I was at Les Halls the other day, someone mentioned something about a newspaper with these amazing society pages. I think it was called Les Trumpets du People? Les Trumpets du People is now available to visit in the Paris map. They'd have to get their stories from somewhere. Why not you? In fact, I bet you'd be great at that, madame. Merci, Camille. I think I'll do just that. I've gone from bareness to be oh, I get what she said. I've gone from bareness to be to gossip monger. Great. With that, your day begins. Hey. She seems very cheery. Let's do this. You walk through the city, following Camille's directions. Eventually, you find yourself threading through narrower and narrower streets. The alleys, packed with refuse and occasional vagrant napping in the shade, feel almost oppressive in their closeness. Suddenly, the alleys open up into a wider street near a square. You can hear the splashing of a fountain nearby. You finally find the sign of Les Trompettes du Piu Piu. The paint appears to be fresh, but the office seems awfully small. The door is locked, so you give it a knock. Nobody answers. Looking around, you find a hastily written note lodged in the doorframe. It reads, "Office temporarily closed. Engaging in emergency fundraising efforts. We apologize for the inconvenience. Management. P.S. Fear not this setback. The light of journalism shall never fade." It's at the moment you realize the splashing in the fountain is getting louder, accompanied by some of the most inventive profanity you've ever heard. Against your better judgment, you decide to investigate. Aha! A reedy voice shouts triumphantly. You come upon a man in grubby finery, up to his knees in the fountain. His shoes have carefully been placed at the water's edge. He does a little jig as he drops a wet coin into his snuff box, which is clutched tightly in his other hand. Okay. Noticing your presence, the man in the fountain turns to you with a nod and a smile that attempts to be ingratiating. "Bonjour, madame. Are you here, the senior editor of La Trumpet du Piu Piu? Are you serious? This is your emergency fundraising?" His smile broadens and the man bows, his manner suddenly as elegant as the finest courtiers of Versailles. "Why, in fact, I am, bonne dame. My name is Pierre Reneadot, whatever." I'm sorry, I can't. When I keep repeating it over and over again until it sounds right. Anyways, how may I be of service? I have some valuable social information for sale. If I wanted to sell some gossip, how would that work? He raises an eyebrow conspiratorially and leans in closer to you. His breath smells like cheap brandy. "You are in luck, madame, because we are always willing to pay for such valuable information." Suddenly, flushed with embarrassment, he pauses to look into his snuff box. "I do hope that coins are an acceptable form of payment." Cheap girl. Awesome. Queen was recently seen, but yeah, let's go ahead and sell it. Good. Oh, it's 1789. This is way before the Regency era. You wake up the next morning to a polite knock on your bedroom's door. Camille enters carrying a small armload of letters. Um, Madame? Camille starts, both confused and hesitant. "There's a lot of letters for you here. Are they for me or are they for Armand?" "They're for you, madame. Every single one," Camille beams. "Are these party invitations? Why would anybody invite me to a party?" "Oh, great. More chances to be humiliated by someone I don't even know." "Well, madame, you're a little famous right now," Camille replies. "Everyone's heard about your run-in with the dreadful party host a few days ago. How they preyed upon your honor and spirited away your carriage driver, leaving you trapped and alone. You don't think that's exactly how it happened, but decide against fretting over the details." Camille starts to talk faster and faster. Then, when all was lost, you were saved by a beautiful stranger who escorted you home in the moonlight night. So romantic, no? Oh, the rumors are already running rampant. Why, just in the market the other day, I heard someone say that you've taken a liking to. Camille stops, stares into space, and blushes. Actually, never mind that. Never mind what? Yes, let us never mind that.
Huh.
It's just rumors from the marketplace, madame. Nothing you should dignify. In any case, this is your chance to meet people in the city who don't hate you. Or Monsieur Armand. Oh boy. Okay, you can now receive party invitations from all over Paris. Or Paris. In fact, I'm sure that anyone who really judges you fairly is going to love you. Merci, Camille. I really hope that's true. With that, your day begins. I got an invitation from the church. Attending this party will give you a level of exhaustion. Accepting today will award you 5 credibility. I can't decline the church. You can't decline the church. Oh, this is a rendezvous type of thing. Madame Rebellion, because the attendance of Madame Yvette Ducot to her wine tasting on 29th of Mars, which I believe that means March, 1789. This intimate party is sure to be the very height of merry merriment. Wine. I don't really like the taste of wine, but you will receive. What day is this? Hold on. I need. Wait. I need to see when these days align because I need to make sure I know what day to go and get ready for. Okay, I already accepted the churches because you can't deny the church, so I might as well. Let's just do this. Accept hers. Oh, there's 2 in a day. The Queen's Day and the Revolution. So, request the attendance of the fascinating Madame Yvette Ducot to his opera gala on the 3rd of April. This intimate party is sure to be a most spectacular display of generous amusement. I bet. This is a revolutionary one. Request the attendance of the infamous Madame Yvette Ducot to her poetry salon on the 3rd of April, 1789. This intimate party is sure to be the purest form of effervescent celebration. Ooh, that's a good decision-making one. I don't know. I have to decide on which one to go with that one. And this one is for a military party. Okay, request the attendance of Madame Yvette Ducot to his military ball. Oh, a ball? Absolutely. And I gotta decide between attending this one or this one. I don't know which one just yet. But what I do know is that I want a new outfit. Please let that be for me. Can I please explore Paris and get a new outfit? It would be very nice. Since I'm visiting the church, I might as well get a modest outfit. So I'm going to visit the church next, so please sort as such. Whoa, blah, blah, blah. How did this become 131? Child, this lady was not kidding when she said that this stuff wow, 118? Really? Oh, this is gorgeous. This is really pretty. I'm going to the church. I should have bought this when I had the money to do it. Why didn't I do that? I was being a cheapskate. That's what was happening. Oh, this is a favor in all. More importantly, to the crown. 118, that's all my money. It's pretty. this. Oh, please, darling, sell it. Wow! Can I actually sell this? Can I buy another outfit? I should have bought 2 outfits at the beginning. This is cute. This is cute. I really like this outfit a lot. Just this one. I need more gossip to sell. I just like her curls in this. Okay, let me leave because I know I can spend hours in the shop. All right, let's go. How do I leave? Oh. 20. You only spend one day, a full day? Unfair, to be honest. Anyways. The next morning, he woke up from a long night's rest feeling pretty much the same as you did last night. Now that you think about it, you've been feeling tired since that terrible party a few nights ago. Camille enters the room carrying some breakfast. Bonjour, madame. You look unwell. Nicely spotted, Camille. I also feel unwell. It's a little rude to just say it out loud, but you're right. Well, don't worry. This sort of thing used to happen to Monsieur Armand all the time. He would attend all these parties and then forget that sometimes he needed to rest. Armand was always the sort of person who'd burn the candles at both ends. In fact, you were both often guilty of this, which is one of the reasons the two of you got along so well together. Gosh, I really would love to get her a new outfit. The spots on her apron, it bothers me more. She's supposed to reflect me. The more parties he attended, the more exhausted he was, which made things harder and harder for him. Remember, madame, instead of spending the day outside, you can always rest at home for a day to recover your strength. There's something wrong with taking a break every now and then. Home is now available on the Paris map. Do you think you'll be staying in tonight, madame? I might do just that. Not tonight, Camille. I simply have too many things to do right now. If you insist, madame, Camille replies with some hesitance, but you brush it off and continue with your day. All right. Let's explore Paris a little bit. These are event places. These are places to explore. Let's go. Okay. Hire Hansel, the bodyguard. Exploring a more dangerous part of the city carries some risk, but some of the violent types you might meet could also be useful, or even employable. Oh. Not everyone visiting Paris has the weary subtlety that you're grown used to? You've grown used to. I get it. Some are far more blunt. However, that's not always a bad thing. Okay, so I can go here. What's this? A luxurious restaurant that this rendezvous location caters to some of the wealthiest and most powerful clientele in all of Paris. It also serves some of the finest food in the city. Try the lamb. What's this? Out in the suburbs of Paris, what Gonga Paris is a rendezvous location that's the perfect spot for drinking, dancing, and cabaret entertainment. exhaustion. Oh, it is exhaustion meter. Okay, exhaustion level 2. -10 credibility penalty at your next rendezvous. Oh, you know what? If I'm tired, let's just stay home. I don't need another peril on me. You decide to take the day off and spend some time at home, resting and recuperating. After spending the day in, taking care of yourself and doing some light reading, you finally feel recharged. The exhaustion that had been affecting you before has passed. Good. I don't need another penalty. You no longer have any levels of exhaustion. Thank goodness. With that complete, you turn your focus upon the other matters that demand your attention. It's party time! Party time! It's party time! With the church. Alright, let's go for church wear. Very astute. We shall go to the party. The boobies out? Alright. As your carriage nears the party, you consider taking one last moment to assess your preparations. You pause to consider how well rested you feel. You're neither well rested nor exhausted. Nothing is holding you back from doing your best in this game of wits. Oh. You check a tiny mirror you keep in the carriage to see that you're wearing your robe à la Francis. I don't know. To a party being held by the church. I wish I knew it. You know, that's one thing I wish I could have done is learn another language. It would have been nice. Very nice. With preparations like this, tonight is yours for the taking. Is it too late to learn a new language? I wouldn't think so, right? Anyways, you step down out of the carriage and hear the ripple of whispers that signal your arrival to any social event these days. There's a small line in the entryway of the cathedral. As guests are waiting to get in, while you're standing in this line, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor. You make a mental note of it, just in case. You have gained a piece of the cheap church gossip. Your servant checks your invitation and everything seems to be in order. Now to enter the party. Please take this gift of wine along with my compliments to our host. It is the church, right? Why would the church? It's the church. She gratefully takes the gifts from you and sets it aside. As you enter the party, you can hear the whispers of other guests noting your generosity. Oh! Is that how you do? Oh, okay. You have spent 10 levers. You have gained a tiny amount of credibility. You have lost a tiny amount of peril. Good. Now, let the games begin. Alright, who I'm gonna be itched to today? Let's see. You're approached by a woman who is playing a most unusual game with the host. This strange game must be conducted in secret, but also uniquely suited to your sort of talents. Okay. There's a woman here who apparently used to work with Pierre in the past. As a fellow huntress of gossip and rumors, the two of you might have quite a lot to talk about. Okay. You, sir, I see you a lot. A jilted gentleman has sought out your company, and he is quite the grudge to settle. However, firmly held grudges often lead to loose tongues. Okay. And then turn. Your presence hasn't gone unnoticed by those who consider themselves extremely poised. For some unbelievable reason, they doubt the honesty of your intentions here. This might be an ideal chance to turn such attacks around on them. Oh. Can I do this one? Okay, so who should I pick? I feel like she's very unique looking, along with her servant. do this. Wait, which one gives me the most credibility? Shocking church gossip. Oh, I think this one might be the best one because that one gives me shocking church gossip. And that means, okay. Because I am going to, what is it, the Bulgarians party next? He gives me shocking and outrageous cheap gossip too. I have to be very strategic. I really want to know this one though. No, let's go ahead and go here. You approach a woman who's been eyeing the other guests in a particular familiar way. In fact, it's the exact same way you look at guests at these functions. She looks up at you. Even to cuts, I take? She asked, sipping on a glass of white wine. Oh, those eyes are telling. She is all about the gossip. Who are you and what are you doing here? How do you know my name? Ooh, a fine assessment. Ah, I thought so. You seem to match all the rumors I've heard. My name is Anne de Corsmer. Corsmer? We're both acquainted with Pierre Renirot. I'm just going to say Pierre. And I'm going to say Anne. Funny little man, isn't he? I used to work for him as a rumor monger a long time ago before his boss passed away and bequeathed him with the newspaper. Of course, since then I moved on to greener pastures. How's Pierre's doing, by the way? Does he still gamble like a madman? I'm not sure. Is that what he does when he sobers? Why did you start working with Pierre in the first place? Oh no, he doesn't even drink anymore. Well, when the crown finally put a halt to royal censorship, newspapers started cropping up everywhere. Suddenly, it became clear that Pierre was only a big fish because he'd been swimming in a little pond. For all of his failings, Pierre has his principles, and I admire that. However, you've seen his operations. The man is barely holding it together, and I couldn't trust my living on something like that. By the way, I'm not certain what you're doing here tonight, but I am here to interview the Comité des Boulevards. Boulevardiers. I mean, he doesn't know it's an interview, but that's not important. I'm gonna be struggling. Ooh, double barrel. Simply put, I'm here to find something interesting related to the church. Can I trust you to stay out of my way? What say you and I interview him together? We'll cover every angle. You're saying he has something worth writing about? Thanks for the tip. I don't know if I want to get on her bad end because she's been in this game for a long time. So I might as well be her frenemy versus her enemy. You know? Interview him together. I'd be agreeable to such a plan. If we both sold the story to our respective employers at the same time, it'd be none the wiser. She leads you over to the Comité des Boulevardiers and engages him in conversation. It looks like they've met before, but he has no idea what her actual profession is. The two of you alternate in your conversations with him, slowly drawing out details of the latest scandals. Like a good gentleman, he attempts to remain discreet, but against the two of you, he doesn't stand a chance against the two-pronged ambush of your charms. You have gained a piece of cheap church gossip. The three of you stick around together, chatting for a while, before you find that there's nothing else to be gained from this conversation. Eventually, you part ways. You decide to search the rest of the party and see if there's anything else for you to do. And this lovely lady, I just love her. This is here. This man and his gossip. Okay, I want this gossip. I want this gossip. You come across a woman interviewing a man for the sake of her book, but something doesn't seem quite right about the man's outrageous claims. Okay. A jilted gentleman sought out a... that's the same jilted gentleman. Ooh. This looks like a challenge. Okay. Two men have sequestered themselves in a chapel to discuss a set of rumors so dire that they fear to speak them out aloud. While together they are resolute, they may prove easy to tempt when separated. Okay. A chambermaid has been charged with returning a lost pouch of coins. Perhaps you can assist her with such an endeavor. I think this one is the most good. Let's pick this one. Alright, you notice two men sequestered off to the side in a chapel, speaking in low tones while their eyes glance fruitfully about. The sight alone is enough to draw you towards it, like a devout pilgrim towards a holy place. Indeed, I've heard some rather fascinating things amongst the priests that I know, but even now, I fear that the wrong person might overhear it. We're two of a kind then. Some of my friends have remained in the military and they have a lot to say about the sorry state of affairs there. I can barely keep such things to myself. The risks are too great. I'm simply too close to the story, and the consequences of indiscretion could be dire. Indeed. I suppose we have nothing to discuss then. Even at this distance, you can see these men are so overflowing with desire to spill their respective secrets that it would be a trivial task to get them to speak. However, if they are to be believed, you'll certainly anger the members of whatever group that you take their gossip from. They're starting to walk away from each other. Who should you follow? No. I gotta choose between gossip. What room is connected to the church? So I'll follow that particular boy's person. The younger one seems to know something about the military. I can use that. I'm not risking my status with the military or the church for this. Oh. Churches were hella corrupt back in the days. Let's go for the church. I mean, the military was corrupt, but the church was the dominant. As they part ways, you follow the older man at a distance. You catch up to him in a different part of the party, far from his astral wiles companion.
Oh!
Bonjour, madame, he says with a polite bow of his head. How may I help? Your efforts to pry the secrets from this man are so easy that you almost have to stop yourself from laughing. You have what you want from him in short order. You have gained a piece of cheap church gossip. Of course, there are obvious consequences for dealing with a man who clearly can't keep a secret. It won't be long before everyone in the church knows that you sought out rumors about them. Oh, well, you have lost a little favor with Ludovico? The conversation that follows afterwards is decent, if nothing else. This is especially good because you'll have to keep talking with him for some time. This dance has a particular rhythm, and one can't leave too early, lest they risk arousing even further suspicion. Ooh, this is a lot of work. However, the moment you spot a polite opening in the conversation, you manage to break away. All things considered, that certainly feels like a success. A success indeed. Oh, I lost favor with Ludovico. I don't know who Ludovico was. We haven't met yet. Maybe we can gain favor? Well, you invited me to the church event, sir. What did you expect? Oh, what shall I wear? What shall I wear on the outing of today? I just have no clue. Yeah, I'm wearing that. Someone give me a new outfit. gonna sell some stuff. Oh, so it changes. Oh, I should have went to the bad part. The maid and the archer? Walking near the market, you come across your own maid of all works, who seems to be in a bit of a trouble. Dang it, you're in trouble. I need a new dress. Oh, you know, I can get Lear from this? Hold on. More gossip, huh? Wow, the gossip I got is really, really juicy. Oh no! I don't want to. You spot a certain wealthy widow making inquiries with a creator of bespoke. Gosh, there's so many cool things to do for today. I need to sell that gossip, but I want to go and help my maid. Oh, screw it. Let me go help my maid. But I also want to talk to Honorate or Madame Gavel. Gavel? Is that what her name is? Gavel? I guess I'll go help my maid. I should have sold the gossip. Anyways, you spend the day walking through the city, exploring a neighborhood near a marketplace. The air is pungent, a rush of scents from crisp vegetables to fresh fruit to less than fresh fish. Your ears suddenly perk up at the sound of a familiar voice. You start slipping through the crowd in its direction. You stumble upon Camille, her arms full with a basket full of day's groceries. However, she's been stopped by a watchman of the Gaut Royal, one of the infamous archers. He's berating Camille in the middle of the street. Oh no. Where'd you get those? He demands, gesturing to all her groceries. Boy, but monsieur, you saw me buy these. I got them over there, she says, pointing in the direction of a market stall. I saw no such thing, he says, blistering at the suggestion that he could have been paying attention to his surroundings. Where's your receipt? Mill's eyes dart from side to side and she turns her feet away from him. Something about this line of questioning is making her very uncomfortable. I never get receipts, monsieur? What? That's ridiculous. Why not? Well, I can't. Camille starts and stops, looking ashamedly at the ground. You're going to have to give me a very good reason not to haul you away, he growls, and one of his hands extends out, low with his palm up. So that's what this is about. I see. Monsieur, I'm so glad you found her. Please accept this payment for my things. No, I'm not giving his butthole and anything. Excuse me, monsieur. Don't you have better things to do than harass my servant? The watchman stares at you, absolutely startled, as you suddenly interpose yourself between him and Camille. What? You've been robbed? Huh. Which way did he go? We don't allow criminals here. Not on my watch. Suppressing the powerful reflex to comment on the irony of that statement, you point him in a random direction. To sell the illusion, you provide a believable, yet suitably vague description of your imaginary assailant. Musket at the ready, the watchman runs off into the crowd, yelling after an imaginary cut purse. The moment you lose sight of him, the two of you start hurrying away. Wow, madame, that was amazing, she gushes. Normally, I remember to bribe the authorities, but something came over me and I completely forgot. Oh, girl, don't give them your money. You spend the rest of the day escorting Camille about on her daily errands. It takes a few minutes for her to completely feel comfortable again, but it comes eventually. Good. Good. The next morning, you find a letter on your nightstand. Camille must have brought it in while you were still asleep. It's sealed with a rich purple wax seal, bearing the initials HG. Oh. Opening it up, you find a letter from Honoré, written in flowing cursive. It might be your imagination, but you think you can smell the slightest hint of perfume on the letter. Chérie Yvette, it was truly a pleasure to have your company in the ride home from the otherwise dreary party. Still, I seethe at the thought that our host was allowed to ridicule you. In front of all those people, no less. Such a thing must be not go unpunished. This is why I've been digging in some rather dark corners of the city. I have some information that you will find quite interesting. Oh gosh, I had to cough. Honoré goes on to describe a particular fountain deep in the city. She'd like to meet with you in secret as she's worried about someone intercepting the letter. Is your enemy really that powerful? Honoré's clue is now available to visit in the Paris map. Please meet me there as soon as you can, and I'll share what I've learned. Bien yes, Honoré. Using your map, it doesn't take long to figure out where the particular fountain is. In fact, you can visit it today if you like. Oh boy. There's another invitation? Duke Daniel? Why would I want to go to him? Accepting today will award you 5 credibility. Ignoring this invitation will cost you -5. Professor... Oh, no. I don't know. We'll see. I do not want to deal with the flukes. I really don't. They are, oh, and I got a party coming up with them. Oh, dealing with 2 days, 2 part, no. 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 I do not want to deal with them at two times in a row. No. Let's meet with Honoré. Gosh, I really need some money though. and I would really appreciate, like, well, the gossip's old now. It's like 2 days old, so 3 days old. You leave the house earlier than usual that morning, uncertain of how long it'll take you to walk the fountain that Honoré mentioned in the letter to you. Given that you're still new to skullduggery, you decided to dress in darker clothes and stuck to comfortable walking shoes. Surprisingly enough, you managed to find the fountain without getting turned around. It seems like the perfect place for a meeting like this. There's just enough people wandering around that you won't draw attention, but also few enough that you'll be able to find somewhere scolded to talk. Looking around, you can't spot Madame Giselle anywhere. Or Gazelle, sorry. Madame Gazelle anywhere. So you decide to take a seat at the edge of the fountain. It makes sense to be visible enough that she'll be able to find you without any flashy waving or signaling. You get comfortable, smooth out your skirts, and pause for a moment to reflect on the decisions that led you to a point in your life where you're having secret rendezvous with a glamorous widow to learn the secrets of your most hated enemies. If anything, they must have been some good decisions. After only a few minutes of waiting by the fountain, Honoré's carriage pulls up and Renee, Honoré's trusted coachman, steps down off his box to open the door for her. It's the middle of the day, but the inside of the luxuriously decorated carriage is still shrouded in gloom. Honoré steps down from the carriage. Bonjour, Yvette. I hope you haven't been waiting long. Please inside. I would rather not share this information while in public. Don't call her Honoré. She said Madame Gazelle. Are you sure this carriage is discreet? Oh, Madame Gazelle laughs with an unexpected snort. I'm sure it's not. However, anyone who wishes to spy upon us already knows who we are. The very least we can do is discuss this in a place where they can't listen in. Besides, this dress is silk, and I'm not going to risk falling into a fountain with it on. She continues and offers her hand to you. Judging from her tone, you get the feeling that disagreeing with her logic won't get you anywhere. Are you freaking serious? Okay. You take her hand and get into the carriage. God dang it. As before, I'm sorry, I'm just upset. How did I lose credibility? Oh, man. Okay. Anyways, you take her hand and get into the carriage. As with before, it takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust to the oppressive gloom within. Madame Gazelle follows you inside and takes up her normal seat across from you. With a silent signal to Renee, the carriage takes off. She sips at her glass of water and spends a few moments simply looking you over. You're not really sure what she's looking for. After a while, she seems satisfied and continues. Since you're here, I'll assume that you read my letter. It's possible that you're more forgiving than myself, but the thought of what happened to you that night still makes me livid. At first, I admittedly knew very little about Marcel, but the more I started to learning about her, the less I liked. Now that I've gotten to know her better, I'm not surprised at all that she would be so contemptible. Oh, words keep rolling through my head. Anywho, so I did what anyone else would do. I held meetings with as many of her business partners as I could, claiming to be interested in investing my husband's fortune. They, of course, fell all over themselves in order to meet with me and try to part me from my late husband's money. During those meetings, I asked about Marcel's family investments and pretended to be very impressed with whatever they told me. However, in that whole time, I couldn't find evidence that any of her family's investments were older than 30 years old. 30 years or so. 30 years is a long time for a single person. That's not how the aristocratic, there you go. Aristocratic families see the world. The Gazelle family's fortune is 40 years old and we're still derided as new money. Oh. Honoré pauses to sip her water and sneer at some unseen advisory. As if recent success was something to be ashamed of. To put it simply, why would her family pretend their fortune is older than it really is? Excuse me. That gaudy wretch is hiding something about her money. Knowing what she's like in public, anything she wants to hide must be dark and deep. I think you're right. What now? You're enjoying this, aren't you? Oh my, yes. She answers, making no attempt to hide how much she is relishing the current situation. Oh, well, at least my favorite went up with her. I like you, and I despise Marcel. Madame Gazelle says, a simple statement of facts. The idea of you toppling that tasteless wretch is extremely satisfying. Keep in mind that if you were going to bring about her ruin, the best time to do so would be on April 24th, the night of her birthday masquerade. Madame Gazelle chuckles to herself at the thought, it's her birthday, so she'll make every effort to keep all the attention on herself. which means that any damaging revelations you happen to bring to light will be impossible to ignore. Of course, to do this, you'll need to find both evidence and an invitation. Given what I saw from you that night, I have a feeling that you and I share a flair for the dramatic. I expect that whatever you choose to do will be suitable, subtly poetic, considering what she's done to you. I like Madame. I like her. Madame Gazelle signals to Renee and the carriage begins to roll to a top. Pulling back the curtains for a moment, you realize that you're already outside your home. While we must unfortunately part ways, Honoré says as Renee opens the door, I wish you the best of luck in your quest for vengeance. She helps you down from the carriage, and with a crack of Renee's whip, her carriage departs and winds its way into the city. You stop to think about this new information. Marcel is a wealthy aristocrat, but her fortune appears to be younger than she claimed. It seems like this knowledge could be useful, but you'll have to dig deeper first. Researching Marcel is now available to visit in the Paris map. Oh, you best believe I'm about to research. With that, you begin to plan your next move against your sworn enemy. If you're going to bring Marcel to ruin, you'll have to be ready for by April 24th. Sounds good to me. Alright, the 29th of March. Wake up to the sound of someone knocking on your door downstairs. Before you can even get up, you hear Camille cheerily call out, I'll get it! When she answers the door, you hear her spend a minute talking with a man whose harsh voice you don't recognize. When the conversation finishes, Camille heads up to your room. Madame, we need to talk about the rent and my wages. What would you like me to do? Do we have to? Who is that at the door? Well, the grumpy man downstairs was our landlord. While we're paid up on our rent through the week, we'll need to make sure there's enough for next week. Well, we didn't need to pay him this week, but next week we need to have 35 livres for our rent and 5 livres for my wages, or we could be in trouble. Okay. You now will need to pay both your rent and the wages of your servants every week, or deal with damage to your credibility or perhaps even peril. All right. Is there anything else, madame? Yes, why exactly am I paying the 5 livres a week? Oh, no. That's rude. No, Camille, just breakfast will be fine. With that, Camille heads downstairs to make you breakfast, and you're left to wonder how you'll take care of this. The party, of course. Where am I wearing to the party? And you have this. I'm gonna get -5 exhaustion. This is more gears to the military. I really don't care to impress these people. Truly, I don't. Intimate wine testing is sure to be the very height of merry merriment. I wore it to the churches, though. Oh, the church doesn't favor me anyways. As your carriage nears the party, you consider taking one last moment to assess your preparations. You pause to consider how well rested you feel. Unfortunately, you can feel the exhaustion set in as soon as you look past the door towards the enormous crowd of party guests. Tonight is going to be a long night. Okay. You check a tiny mirror you keep in the carriage to see that you're wearing your party being held by the Borges. Oh. I guess disapprove of your outfit and your credibility has decreased. But preparations like this tonight could go poorly if you aren't careful. Okay, you step down out of the carriage and hear the ripple of whispers that signal your arrival to any social event these days. There's a small line in the vestibule as guests are waiting to get in. While you're standing in this line, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor. You make a mental note of it, just in case. You have gained a piece of cheap gossip. A servant checks your invitation, and everything seems to be in order. Please take this gift. She gratefully takes the gift from you and sets it aside. As you enter the party, you can hear the whispers of other guests noting your generosity. Yeah, well, thank you. Now, let the games begin. Gosh, I feel like the servants know more. It appears that the party's host has left their study unlocked. This may be a value opportunity for someone of a more unscrupulous nature. Oh wow. I get so much gossip. Why is there a woman here who looks so much like you? Yeah. Oh, I remember this challenge. Okay. Yeah, I want to choose this one because While circling the party, you happen to notice someone very strange. At first, you thought that you had been looking in a mirror, but something was simply off about the whole thing. How odd. You walk over to inspect said mirror, but you're interrupted by someone in the middle of your approach. Ah, Madame de Cox, I'm pleased to see you again. Would you be willing to indulge me for a moment so we might be able to discuss our business again? You still remember everything we went over, no? Monsieur, I have no idea who you are. But of course, the business that we did, which I know so much about. He pauses to examine you for a moment, which makes sense. That lie could have been a little more confident. I'm glad to hear that you have everything in order. So many of my clients usually decide to berate me with ceaseless questions. Okay. As I was saying, you approached me earlier in the evening and said that you were interested in borrowing a substantial amount of money. Of course, the interest rate will be significant, but you've already convinced me that this isn't worth worrying about. He steps back and looks you up and down and puzzled by something. If I may be so bold to ask, why did you change your outfit? Oh, better yet, what do you think of it? Monsieur, I can assure you that I haven't changed my clothes. Excuse me, but what was I wearing before? Monsieur, I assure you that I haven't changed clothes. You haven't? Truly? Then, if you aren't the one I spoke with then... Madame, I'm sorry, but I need to leave immediately. We'll have to discuss your loans later. He replies, attempting to sound serious, but you can hear an undertone of panic in his voice. He hurries away nervously, which seems good until you realize that he's still planning on trying to negotiate some kind of massive loan with you. The kind you can't possibly afford. Oh, really? Got some payroll up? However, your first priority is finding this mysterious woman who is pretending to be you. Alright, so at these parties, I gotta keep a lookout for that lady. Let's see. Ooh, are there 10 or... You notice a woman approaching you and you sense some sort of amorous intent from her. But something about the whole situation feels off. Something scandalous, to be sure, but you're not certain if you want to be so close to it. It appears that the party's host has left their study unlocked. Oh, that's still the study unlocked one. It appears that some guest has spilled their drink on you. Surely an apology is in order for such a glaring misstep. None? They didn't mean... Oops. What do you mean they didn't mean to? You know they did it. The pair of women are discussing their businesses and the rumor that come with such dealings. If one were careful, they could... Yep. Here we go. Gossip! You find yourself chatting with an interesting pair of women. They both manage their own personal fortunes and are trying to invest in business all across the city to grow their wealth. You rarely get a chance to meet women like this, even in Paris, which is what initially drew you into the conversation. Apparently, all of this business causes them to no shortage of stress. When people are stressed, they tend to say exactly what's on their mind, which means it's been exceedingly easy to find new gossip. Gossip! You gained a piece of cheat? Gossip!
Huh.
Oh, how are things going with that new tea importer you've been looking to invest in? Her companion sighs. Well, it was going to be easy, but of course something had to come up and get in the way of everything. She then turns to you and looks embarrassed. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is all just business. I don't want to bore you with a mountain of trivial details. You grit your teeth into the shape of a smile. The mountain of trivial details is exactly what you need. Please, we can discuss something more germane? No, please continue. Please, keep going. I'm always willing to learn. If that would make you feel better, we can move on to... Oh, really? She asked, generally trying to determine if you're just humoring her. Well, if that's the case, then let's forge onward. The other woman chimes in, brimming with excitement. Credibility. They start explaining the latest issues going on amongst the... I don't know how to say their name. Bourgeois? As far as you can tell, every functioning business in Paris is connected in some way or another. If one of them starts running into issues, it ripples out to everyone else. Sometimes you feel like you've never left your village. Everyone is always bumping into each other and being rebuked for inconveniencing people they've barely ever given a thought to. Everyone is connected, so they all feel like they are allowed to judge you for your decisions. You chime in with a few observations of your own, but otherwise let them talk while you try to take in as much as possible. Gossip is easy when it's people you know. When you don't, it's a difficult task just to keep all the details straight. You have gained a piece of shocking gossip. You thank them for their time and make a graceful exit. As you leave, they regard you with a wary fascination. They're so unused to outsiders taking any interest at all that they can't understand why anyone would care about the details of their concerns. I have my need. Cool. All right, let's continue. I care less of bringing down the church as much as I care more about bringing that woman down. Okay, so we do need to go into Paris to see how much my gossip is worth now. Oh, what is that? Shoot! Either looks marginally cleaner than before, or he's managed to shuffle the mess into differently shaped piles. Honestly, it's hard to tell. His spend a few moments waiting around in the entryway before Perry arrives. And oh, Perry! Oh my God! What? Pierre! Ah! I was calling him by the wrong name. It's Pierre. Oh my gosh! And he seems quite enthused by your presence. Why, if it isn't my newest confidant, please come in. Have you come back with more delicious information, or perhaps you are trying to find someone? Non? Here's Armand, and how do you know that I'm looking for him? I'm not trying to find Armand. He can seek me out if he cares so much. Pierre cocks an eyebrow at your response and rummages around in his snuff box while he examines you more closely. Yes, a single distortion can certainly sour one's opinion. Your Armand has been so thoughtless as to abandon you in this cruel city, this den of vipers, and now you seek to chart your own course, no? I doubt anyone would blame you for wanting to seize your own destiny, instead of chasing his. Now then, to business. He left. How good is this gossip? Oh, it's still fresh. Oh, that's fresher. Okay, a mission has called for the censorship of an opera critical of the church. Booking has signaled his. Yeah, let's sell it. Sell that. Are you sure you like to sell this cheap gossip? If you do this, there should be no chance of the public finding out. Let's not. A country inquiry for the States General has been granting asylum to accused criminals. Is he intervening on behalf of the people or obstructing justice? Well, this is the same information. Sway the allegiance of the church towards the crown or the revolution by a small amount. Yeah. That's it. Coalition members have been investigating a large amount of money in hot air balloons. Are there visionaries? Oh, is this all the same thing? Increase or decrease the power of the smaller a lawyer recently got into a fist fight with an aristocrat who tried to claim his seat at the opera. Is this a sign of abuse by the nobility or the lawyer's unnecessary involvement? How much money I got? Doesn't matter, both of them are the same cost. For free. Okay, how would you like me to present this to my loyal readers? If you do this, there should be a 1 in 3 chance of the public finding out. Increase their power. Increase the power of the church. Let's do this. How do I know if? See, I need like a structure meter. How do I know what power? Well, I guess I'll find out. Okay, I gotta give them my response, I suppose. Which one shall I go to? I feel like this is gonna be the most juiciest juice. Let's go. I feel like that's going to be the juiciest juice of juiceness. I'm going to gain 10 peril because I'm tired. I had a military outfit. want to go to the party or stay at home in bed. Okay, I'm gonna be so exhausted. Oh, let me find out. Yep. Got a little bit left in this outfit. I'm gonna wear this. I don't really care to look divine for them. You pause and consider how well rested you feel. I am exhausted. Yeah, well. You check the tiny mirror to keep the blah blah. Preparations like this, the result of tonight's gossip. You step down out of the carriage and hear the ripple of whispers that signal your arrival. I lost my place. Your arrival to any social event these days. There's a small line in the vestibule as guests are waiting to get in. While you're standing in this line, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor. You make a mental note of it, just in case. You gain a piece of cheap gossip. Here. She gratefully takes the gift from you and sets it aside. As you enter the party, you can hear the whispers of other guests noting your generosity. So generous. That's what I do. Now let's let the games begin. Ooh, it's a lot of guests here. I wouldn't mind a one-on-one with a conversation. I haven't had done one of those. Every group has ways of measuring one's worth and whether they deserve to belong. With the aristocracy, it's a title. With the church, it's faith. With the I don't know how to say the name. Bourgeoisie? It's simply money. One guest is here to remind you of such things. She's very influential. There you go. Someone is absolutely bursting at the seams with the desire to discuss something concerning the host, but only with those who know the host well. You might not, but when has such a triviality ever stopped you? To have quite a bit to say to each other, but aren't doing so. Whatever dangerous rumors they've gotten a hold of, they can't bring themselves to speak it in public. I want to know. You notice two women, apart from everyone else in the room, laughing in a guilty yet carefree way that suggests something is afoot. They've yet to notice you, yet you're drawn to them like a banker towards an outstanding debt. I heard the most outlandish thing from my fellow business partners in the bourgeois, but I just know it'll come back to haunt me if I repeat it here. What a familiar feeling. My husband's told me of what he's seen in the army, and I'm of the same mind. I'm not so sure if I can endure the backlash that would result. The two women stare at each other in silence, which gives way to barely suppressed laughter. Then silence again. It's settled in. Neither of us discuss what we know with anyone, even each other. Even while she says it, you can easily see that it would be trivial to get either of them to talk. It's just a matter of weathering the consequences. As I said, anyone who leaks these particular rumors will face immediate scrutiny from whoever has had their secrets exposed. They're starting to part from each other. This is your chance to follow one of them. Okay, do I want to gain some military gossip? I want to gain some not military, but some more of this wealthy family gossip. You follow the millionaire as she leaves her companion behind. Together they were resolute, but divided she'll surely fall.
Huh.
Oh, do I know you? She asks as you approach her, desperately trying to maintain a stony and determined expression. As you chat together, it doesn't take long for that facade to fall away. You share a few choice anecdotes of your own, and soon she's eager to tell you what's been burning within her. You'll gain some cheap knowledge. As you guessed previously, it's clear that she has no real sense of discretion. It's likely that before the night is over, members of the bourgeois will know that you got this information from her. Oh no! A little favor with her? Okay. The following conversation is empty but energetic. While though there's nothing of substance, there's something to be said about enthusiasm, making things interesting. Sometime later, sensing a lull in discussion, you excuse yourself to pursue other inquiries. Oh. Yes. Ooh, who is this handsome devil? Who are you? In the vestibule, you hear some strange noises emanating from a coat closet. Now, whatever could that be? Memory. It's of the time when you and Armand first met. Dang it! Which one should I choose, the Armand or helping her? Ugh, forget Armand. He has left me in my own. You step away from the party proper to take a break in the vestibule. You scan the guests filing in and out of the party, trying to decide where to make your next move. Suddenly, your ears perk up at the sound of something unusual. You hear the sound of a small voice coming from the coat closet. Ah, a mystery. Finally, something interesting. If this is a secret tryst between star-crossed lovers, it better not be on my shawl. Power of your personal indignity, you approach the closet door and press your ear to it. Straining to hear what's on the other side of the door, you don't hear the messy fumbling of two lovers succumbing to their forbidden passions. In fact, you hear quite the opposite. It's the mumbling and crying of a young girl. Judging from the sound, she can't be older than 15. Knock on the door. Pardon, mademoiselle, are you all right? Says the quivering voice on the other side of the closet door. Your doubtful silence speaks volumes. Actually, I'm not fine, the voice admits. I'm very not fine. My parents forced me to come here, and I said a bunch of stupid stuff, and everyone got bored of or mad, and now it's all just as bad as I thought it would be. The voice snuffles. I just wanted to stay home and read books about spies. My name's Amelia. By the way, why does anyone do this? Oh, are you joking? When I was your age, I would have killed for this. We do this because we must. The socializing is a trade like any other. Mademoiselle, open up. I refuse to converse through a door. Oh, I like that one. For a while, all you can hear is silence from the inside of the coat closet.
Huh.
I feel safer talking to you like this, madame, the voice says, mustering some defiance. Oh, my credibility went down? Oh. Well, what should I do now? Find someone much older and introduce yourself. They'll be thrilled. To talk a lot yet. You just need to listen. Start there. We don't even have a medium, a smidge of that. If you're going to be here, you should be memorable and take a risk. You should also increase your apparel by a small amount. took a risk, right? For a while, all you can hear is silence from the inside of the coat closet. I don't think anyone here is thrilled to see me or talk to me. I don't like this girl. Come on. You have lost some credibility already? I lost 20 of credibility with dealing with you, young girl. But the closet is really boring, she admits. Slowly, the closet door opens all the way. All right, here I am. Time to go to party stuff, she says, the absolute picture of enthusiasm. With an awkward wave, Amelia departs to rejoin the party in progress. You see a little bit of yourself in her, and you're not sure if that's a good thing. I lost some credibility talking to a 15-year-old. Just great. I'm staying home. Oh wait, I do need to explore this. Okay. You start your day by walking towards the center of Paris. Viscountess de Fox isn't just a member of the aristocracy. She's a woman who wields her title and noble privileges like a weapon. There's only one place to learn more about a woman like that. Le Palais Royal, the favorite social spot for all the aristocrats in the city. The hub of all gossip, social news, slander, and scandal. If there was ever a telling secret or a salacious rumor, this was the place to find it. Le Palais Royal is now available to visit in the Paris map. You remember reading about this place over a year ago. Its storied buildings are even more impressive in person. Elegantly dressed aristocrats strut about the gardens, stopping briefly to chat in hushed tones. Without the benefit of a title or an introduction, you can't approach any of these groups directly. However, there's nothing to stop you from overhearing things as you just pass by. Staying on the absolute edge of conversation, you circle the square pretending to be a traveler just admiring the apartments and gardens. The first hour you spend on this task yields no information concerning Marcel, but you do manage to hear some gossip that a certain newspaper might appreciate. Cheap gossip about the revolution. During the second hour, you hear something about Marcel's father, the former Viscount Dufox. Apparently, Viscount Alfonso Dufox died a few years ago, and his funeral was so lavish that people are still discussing it today. Not exactly what you're looking for, but it's on the right track. In the third hour, however, something piques your interest. Apparently, Marcel is rather obsessed with her clothing and personal appearance, even claiming to be a fashion icon. Do you get to decide that about yourself? Isn't that something that other people have to call you? Marcel's vanity, demanding nature, and abrasive manner have led her into serious disagreements with several dressmakers and clothiers across the city. In fact, some of them simply refuse to do business with her anymore, though she claims the situation to be the other way around. She would have to have been an unpleasant customer indeed, in order to drive a dressmaker away. Apparently, every order she places is completely unique, which means each item in her wardrobe costs a fortune. An idea strikes you, as quickly and surely as a lightning bolt. Each of the vile Viscountess dresses would have cost for far too much just to pay for it in coins. It would require a banknote. Any dressmaker that worked with Marcel would have to know the name and address of her bank in order to collect any payment. All you have to do is find someone who had worked with her in the past, someone with a grudge. This will bring you one step closer to having the dark secrets of Marcel's money within your grasp. You now have a vital clue for finding Marcel's weakness. However, you'll need to figure out where to search next on your own. Now, you just need to find such a dressmaker. Where? You have 10 credibility. So upset about that. We're gonna stay in the house. I need to rest. You decided to take the day off and spend some time at home, resting and recuperating. After spending the day in, taking care of yourself and doing some light reading, you finally feel recharged. The exhaustion that had been affecting you before has passed. Whew, you no longer have any levels of exhaustion. With that complete, you turn your focus upon the other matters that demand your attention. Where the hell is Armand still? Like, are you no way concerned about your lover? Like, what's the deal, man? Ay. I don't care. I need to accept this. I have no interest in dealing with the crown. Let's see. We're gonna wear provisional outfit. I have that solution. Might as well get my money's worth from this. You pause to consider how well rested you feel. You're neither well rested nor exhausted. Nothing is holding you back from doing your best in this game of wit. You check a tiny mirror you keep in the carriage to see that you're wearing your to the party being held by the revolution. Oh, good. Guess have no strong feelings on your outfit, and your credibility has not changed much. With preparations like this, the results of tonight could be a toss-up. Okay.
Huh.
The servant checks your invitation and everything seems to be in order. Yes. So gracefully. Yeah, noted my generosity. Good. Now, let the games begin. Here we go. Oh, this fat man looks like... I wanted to talk to this fat man. A self-satisfied judge and his scophonic companion. Ooh, psychophonic. Ooh, I need to look that word up. That one's a good one. I know I've been stumbling on a lot of the French words, but this one I should be able to pronounce. Let me find out what this word is. Writing down this word. Yeah. Sycophant. Oh, sycophant! Oh, oops. I like that word. A person who acts, yeah. So a kiss ass, basically. Oh. Sycophant, okay. Companion are openly discussing the details of a case. If that doesn't sound like good gossip fodder, then nothing does. Yeah, let's do it. Making your usual rounds, you come across a man who appears to be attempting to win the good favor of a local judge. Ooh. Which is, of course, why we're glad to have a man of such august reputation amongst us. Though I must ask, why are you still wearing your judiciary robes? Oh, don't worry about this. The judge laughs as he tugs at the edges of his robe. My final trial of the day was running quite late, and I didn't want to disappoint our host. I know she was very eager to see me. You're not certain that's completely true. In fact, you're certain that this judge is the sort of person that requires a naval uniform just to take a bath. Oh, and who might you be, madame? The judge asks as he notices your approach. Yeah, just go ahead. I am the soon-to-be Baroness de Marbeau. Oh, don't you worry yourself, monsieur. I'm nobody of any particular importance. I'm sure the honor is all mine, the judge says quickly, not paying much attention to your introduction.
Oh.
It's funny that I was almost late, he chuckles. As it happens, my last case of the day involves some prominent revolutionaries. though neither the charges against them nor the verdict have yet to be made public. I'd explain further, but this case requires discretion, and I'd hate to confuse the young lady. Oh, confuse me not. Could you possibly explain further? I am having such a difficult time following this. It's difficult. Yes? Well, you lie through a vapid smile. Hold on for just a moment, Your Honor, says the guest, interrupting the judge before he can continue. I have a feeling that the woman before us is more than she appears. Now that you mention it, I see what you mean. In fact, I've been onto her clever ruse this whole time, he shouts, loud enough for other guests to look in your direction. Whoa. Whoa! Okay. They leave without another word while you find yourself buried in a cloud of suspicious whispers. It appears they were more canny than you thought. Not by much, but still too much. Okay, I lost so much credibility now. Like, this is unfair. Getting a chance might be illegal, but that doesn't mean they aren't widely enjoyed. After all, the chance to win or lose great fortunes wasn't dangerous thrilling. They never need to make a law prohibiting it. No, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna lose money either way. A chambermaid has been charged with returning a lost pouch of coins. Perhaps you can assist. This is cheap revolutionary gossip. Here men are discussing a diplomat from the Americas. As their conversation runs in circles, an opportunity presents itself. A messenger has arrived at the door, bearing pressing information. This scandalous news might be worth quite a bit if one were to obtain it. Yes, please. Strolling through the event, you find yourself in the vestibule of the party venue again. The room is empty as the doorman appears to be off doing something else. Oh, you're startled by the sound of frantic singing at the front door. Who is it? Madame, I'm a messenger who has traveled a long way at great haste with grave news, replies a male voice from the other side of the door. You open the door to see the young messenger. He's sweating profusely, and you can see a horse outside pacing anxiously back and forth. Without another word, he steps inside.
Oh.
Once inside, he frantically looks around the otherwise empty room. Excuse me, but can you help me find Madame Marie de Lorraine, the Countess de Brian? I have grave and potentially scandalous news for her. We can't risk you being spotted inside. Tell me the news and I can deliver it for you. Oh, but of course, monsieur. We must find the Countess immediately. Can I win this? I don't know if I can win this, but I'm doing it anyways. We can't risk it, he asked slowly. No, I shall fall prey to such vile trickery. Out of my way. I have no credibility. I am nothing. He brutally pushes past you and disappears in the party, looking frankly for the Countess. You make an unpleasant face at him as You make an unpleasant face at him as his disappears. Then resolve to one day avenge yourself of his trollish behavior. Until then, you'll have to settle for looking around the rest of the party and seeing what else you can accomplish. Girl, nothing. I have no credibility at all. Oh man, if I never messed around with that teenager and her issues. Okay, well. I should rest, but I need a new dress. Please, madam, help me. You arrive again at Fatima's dress shop, and while you can't see the proprietor, you can hear her grumbling from the back room. Eventually, Fatima shuffles her way out to meet you in the front of the shop, dropping a ledger onto a nearby table. She seems to be lacking in her normal energy or enthusiasm. Welcome back, she mumbles. How can I help you? You seem bothered. Am I really that obvious? She asked with a sigh. I had a big order, a custom project. It took me forever, cost a lot to make, and then just fell through. I'm going to have a double of a time making ends meet now. Oh, who was the order for? Fatimi opens one eye, judging you carefully. Have you ever heard of Viscountess de Fox? Marcel? She's a good friend of mine. That vile woman snubbed me at a party I hate. Why, she's a good friend of mine. Oh, if I say this, she's gonna know I'm lying. Fatima perks up at this and looks at you with curiosity. Oh, really? Well, it looks like we have something in common, though it tends to make us unpopular. In my case, the Viscountess didn't snub me at a party. She did so here. Oh, good. I got at least a little bit of credibility. You see, a month ago, I was approached by a servant working for the Viscountess de Fox. The servant said the Viscountess was a genius who wanted to commission a dress she had designed herself. I quoted a price to them, and they immediately tried to tell me it was too high. This servant swore up and down that making something for this Viscountess was extremely yeah, you know, and that I should even work out a discount for all the new businesses it would bring me. Prestigious. That's the word. Yeah. The dressmaker snorts derisively. I may be new to running my own shop, but not new enough to fall for that old ruse. Still, starting a new shop is expensive, and the price we finally agreed on was nice. He showed me the sketches for his genius design, and it honestly wasn't terrible. A little tacky for my taste, but Fatima sighs and hangs her head for a moment. I wasn't thinking. I saw the Leviers written on the banknote and didn't think to check the client's reputation. I agreed. Doing my other jobs, I spent over a month working on this dress, just getting by on the initial payment for materials. Every other day, I'd get a whole list of changes from her. She wouldn't even check on the dress in person, but something always had to be bigger or more intricate. Anytime I suggest that we tone things down for the sake of elegance, she threatened to cancel the order, which would leave me holding the bill. I finally finished it, and this giant pink confection was a crime against good taste. I hated it so much that I didn't even write my name in the lining. The Viscountess finally arrived in person to see her creation, and she hated it. Even went so far as accuse me of butchering her design. After calling me every name under the sun, she took the dress, but refused to pay the bill. She claimed it was compensation for her lost time. Fatima bites down on the stem of her pipe hard enough that, for a second, you'll worry that she'll crack one of her teeth. I could take her to court, but no judge would take the word of a minor shopkeep over that of an aristocrat. I need a good lawyer, which I can't afford. So that's my tale of woe. In fact, I still keep the original banknote up for my material payments hanging in my office. It's a reminder to be careful who I do business with. Sorry to bore you with my story. After a story like that, I absolutely have to see the banknote. I suppose, Fatima says with a shrug, as long as you don't make fun of me when you see it. Audrey disappears into the back of the shop for a moment. She returns with the banknote written out on a piece of paper. I should have known something was wrong with the moment I saw this thing. Why would a noble give me a note from some minor place like Casse de Confiance? She probably cheated all the respectable bank. We studied the banknote, taking care to memorize the name and address. Bank and Mistrust is now available to visit Paris map. After a few moments, she takes the note back. So, Madame de Coq, shall we do business? Of course. So I have a military ball I have to go to. Oh. Only 44 francs? Oh, not francs. Beers? This is exquisite. I need to look exquisite at this party. Wait, don't I have this outfit? Yeah, let me sell this. Let me buy this. This is cheaper. Yes. And then, can I sell this? No. I need a new Lavere outfit. Careful how much I spend. I don't want to overspend, even though I really want to, but I can't. Look how lovely color. Oh, this is the original dress I wanted. It's cheap now. Yes. Anything for the boy? Nothing for them. But I do love this dress, but it needs to be a little bit more. Oh, this is great for the church. Yeah, church in the crown. I don't want to go to no crown party, to be honest. I know I'm gonna have to eventually. Can't avoid the crown. For too long, at least. This blue is so beautiful. I can't buy anything else for right now, at least. This military outfit. This military outfit looks gorgeous. I know there was a blue one. Maybe it was bought. So gorgeous. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and leave the shop. I gotta make sure I have money for rent and money for my servants. You look up at the sound of Camille knocking on your door frame. Good morning, madame.
Huh.
The house rent is due today, as are my wages. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Merci beaucoup, madame. Camille says with a curtsy as you hand her the money. 40. Camille leaves to deliver the money, and with that business concluded, your day may continue. Okay, let's go to the party, shall we? Put an outfit on that's suitable for the military ball. I just want a new dress. Okay. Wait, what does this do for the... Oh, for the crown. I could wear this for the crown. This really does a lot for the military, huh? -4 for the shirt. Oh, yep, we're gonna wear that. Assess yourself. Oh, well, I have no no credibility. Anyway. And I gained 15 credibility. Preparations like this tonight is yours for the taking.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Cheap military gossip. My lady, and here you go. Oh, good. Some peril at least went down. Now, let the games begin. Oh. This is interesting. Gentlemen are discussing yet another scandal that the military has been drawn into. However, this scandal is part of a pattern that leads some to questioning where the military's true loyalties should lie. There's a lot of men here. A chambermaid has been charged. This lady keeps getting charged with stuff. Minus 10 to 5. I'm sorry, honey. I cannot help you. I gotta help myself. Elizabeth's favor. Ooh, military or revolutionary gossip. Or the crown. A pair of former soldiers seem to be quite concerned with the rumors that they've overheard lately. It's unlikely that you'd be able to get them to divulge these rumors while together, but perhaps one could divide and conquer as it were. I haven't even met Elizabeth, to be honest, and yes. Without uniforms of any kind are talking with each other next to a cannon. They seem extremely tense, and this disquiet draws you towards them like a bonnet towards a heart. I don't know what that is. I heard some sincerely disquieting things about the goings on with aristocracy. Ooh, you can tell I'm getting tired. I think after this event, I'm gonna end this session out, and I simply don't know who else I can talk to. Then it seems we are in the same boat, mon ami. I have heard similarly distressing things about the revolutionaries from my friends who are closer to such circles. However, it brings dishonor upon my name to even voice such a thing. We can't afford to become enemies of either the crown or the revolution. We're not entirely sure what it means to be declared at any of the crown, but if your encounters with Viscountess de Fox are any indications, it'll be less than pleasant. Agreed, we shan't discuss this further, but for the sake of preserving our honor, the man on the left proclaims with that outrageous seriousness that men sometimes muster for the smallest of contrivances. It's clear that these men are so bursting with the desire to talk that they can scarcely contain themselves. It'd be trivial to extract the information from them, should you make the attempt. However, there's truth to the danger they spoke of. If you take these secrets, members of either the crown or of the revolution will surely know. In fact, we should disperse for now. His companion replies, there is no such thing as too much caution when it comes to preserving one's honor. To this, the other nods in stout agreement. I want crown knowledge. He followed the royalist at the distance until he's far enough from his friend to not be overheard. Specifically, you arrange it so that you chance across him while he's acquiring new refreshments in the tent. He's wisely chosen a glass of white wine, which is a better choice in this heat than a heavy red. Are you as parched as I am, madame? He asked. When you pick up a glass of the same, it's a cheap boy, but I identical drinks make an easy conversation starter. You find it a little harder to gain his confidence that you initially guessed, but you made quick headway once you pretended to be innocently ignorant of politics. Once he no longer viewed you as a threat, he was more than willing to tell you about the rumor that's been bothering him. You carefully memorize the details of his gossip, but you're also keenly aware that you're not going to be the last person he talks to about this. Simply put, he's bad at keeping a secret, which means that your part in this is likely to come to light, especially to those connected to the crown. The conversation that follows afterwards is a little stilted. Normally, you'd stay in order to chat and make him feel at ease, but you can tell that he's realizing that he's made a grave mistake. You leave before you can get drawn into the throes of his growing panic. Unsure of the time, you're already beginning to search to see if there's anything else you can do at this party before it finishes. Oh, these two are back again. Wow, minus 20 to 5 credibility. You come across a woman interviewing a man for the sake of her book, but something doesn't seem quite right about the man's outrageous claims. Oh, I see that the same gossipy thing comes around again. This whole trivial thing has come around so many times. And he has cheap crown gossip as well as military gossip. I think he was drunk. I don't know. I remember. Just as you're about to seize upon some valuable gossip, you're interrupted by a presumptuous interlocutor. Perhaps there's a way to evade his rude questions and claim your prize in time. Oh. I haven't good enough. Oh man, all of these are hard. I don't know if I have it for any of them, to be honest. Maybe this one. This one seems a little bit more easier. You circle the party with a wide-eyed expression of feigned delight. It's not that you're not enjoying yourself, but it helps make it less noticeable that you're looking for promising targets of your inquiries. You come across a conversation between a bespectacled man and a dragoon. The unfamiliar guest is keeping a calm demeanor, but the younger cavalryman is letting his fiery temperament get the best of him. Why is that smaller people are always so quick to anger? Do they just have the same amount of choler as everyone else, but less room to store it? Oh, I get what that is. First, it's excuses and pay shortages, but now we're dogged by yet another scandal. Even our weapons themselves are suspect. So I've heard, you guys and gentlemen. From what I know, soldiers in multiple battalions have found that they were sold crates of musket balls made from doctored lead. Oh wow. These brittle ammunitions barely fly through the air. Even if they do manage to find their mark, they harmlessly crumble to death. He grimaces before returning to his normally neutral expression. It appears that the supplier of these musket balls is owned by a noble who's currently favored at court. So any investigations into this misdeed have merely fizzled out without answers. The dragoon replies, spitting on the ground in disgust. If any of us did this, we'd swing from the gallows, and rightly so. It seems like even treason in the name of profit is as long as you have blue blood flowing through your veins. Whose fault is this really? You consider the implications of such rumor. This is the crown's fault, as they've chosen to ignore an obvious crime. Or buy ammunition without testing it out. You have gained a piece of cheap crown gossip. The entire thing is a disaster, from start to finish. finished. The gentleman shakes his head at the thought. Marte curses the dragoon when he sees that you've overheard their conversation. Obviously, I find no fault with His Majesty King Louis. God perceives him. The military stands ready to defend him at a moment's notice. The corporal explains, forcing an excessively broad smile. Believing otherwise would be an unacceptable crime and beneath me. As it happens, I think you're correct. This is the crown's fault. I carefully consider my loyalty if I were you. The king's the only man that can help you. Don't worry, you have my discretion. There's no need to hide your anger. Merci beaucoup, madame, he replies in a low voice. Well, that's not including the gossip you picked up earlier, but he believes you regardless. Everything feels like it's just lurking from one crisis to another. People like us, he continues, gesturing at the three of you. People like us need to look out for each other, because I guarantee you that nobody else will. Oh, what a wonderful conversation. Your conversation with the two of them continues as a pleasant pace for some time afterward. It's nice to actually relax at one of these events. If one isn't careful, they could start to feel like work. And what would the point be of that? What would the point of that be? Eventually, you say your goodbyes and part ways with them. You scan the party to see if there's anything else you can do before you part. Oh, what a wonderful conversation. That really was. I highly appreciate that very, very much. However, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and do a hard stop here. Let's go ahead and push the continue button so we can save our progress. Alright, so yes, when we come back, we'll definitely continue on, but I really hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, night, or whenever you see this video. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Alright, bye!